front, the big fellas. They controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
On third down, Cutler. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Jaquiz Rodgers there. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston.
Let's go! Blue line it!
On first down, Osweiler. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. So a collective holding of breath here as the starter heads for the sideline. And they'll hand things over now to the backup, Brandon Weeden. Now Weeden. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Here's Weeden. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's got it over the middle, Fedorowicz. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught at the 25. 30 yards on the pickup there. And the Texans are going to have a first. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Back to throw again. And he fires one incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd down now after the incompletion.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Back to throw here. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Fedorowicz with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Texans will extend their lead. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the 1st quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway, essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down. Because when one guy shreds your team, That's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
So 2 successful two-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or two-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. What a spin. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll run with Langford to begin the drive. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 16-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. They keep it on the ground with Langford. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. So Langford the carry there. 4th-round pick last year with Forte vacating to New York. A lot of the spotlight on Langford.
A lot of running backs have possibilities in Chicago. If he can emerge and eat up carries, I think he'll produce in a big way.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. The first carry here for Jaquiz Rogers. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The previous play is under review.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. This is Langford on 1st and 10. Room here to run. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A good-looking run there by Jeremy Langford.
And what I've always liked about him has been not just his versatility, but his perseverance. I think he's one of those backs that gets better as the game goes on and he gets increased carries. Does have some good toughness running inside. I remember when he was at Michigan State, at one point I did a game of his. He was listed as third-team left corner, but cornerback, receiver, and running back for the Spartans.
Won a couple of Big Ten titles there as well. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Cutler to Langford on the draw. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Here's Cutler to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes Robbie Gould in the field goal unit for the Bears. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 75 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now let's go.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time.
Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a time.